So before we grab a coffee, I'd like to invite Jean-Philippe Linteau. Jean-Philippe is the Director of Cleantech at Global Affairs Canada, and he's going to say a few words about supporting cleantech with the global mining sector.
So right on cue after these remarks on the role of governments. Perfect. So I'm the Global Director for Cleantech and Infrastructure at Global Affairs Canada with the Trade Commissioner Service. First of all, let me say how pleased we are to be associated with Energy and Mines again this year. Just a fantastic event, and you can feel that compared to last year, there's a growth in I'll call it the movement. You're part of a movement, and you're making change, and it's accelerating. Canada wants to be part of that change, not just from the perspective of producing the metals and minerals in a more sustainable way, but also providing the solutions to allow for the growth of green energy in mining. Cleantech is a priority for the Government of Canada. We allocated $2.3 billion to the sector in budget 2017. A lot of that has gone to BDC and EDC to help sustain the growth of clean tech companies in Canada and abroad. But at this moment, Canada is at a turning point in terms of trade. We are a trading nation, and the challenge that we have is really to enable or to seize the opportunity brought about by trade diversification. That's why we're going all in to negotiate free trade agreements and sign free trade agreements with new countries. We've now negotiated 14 trade agreements, reaching 1.5 billion customers and 9.3 trillion in combined GDP. We need to see companies more actively pursuing international opportunities, especially in markets covered by our trade agreements. We currently have or are negotiating agreements with countries that have a strong mining jurisdictions, such as Australia, Brazil, Chile, Mexico, and others. That means opportunities for Canadian companies that are just not available to other countries. The Trade Commissioner Service, that where I lead the clean tech and infrastructure practice, has about 2,000 trade professionals in embassies and consulates around the world, and in 5 regional offices in Canada. So we have 161 embassies and consulates with trade commissioners that are there to help Canadian companies grow. We keep a very strong and close relationship with Canadian miners abroad. And now where we're trying to go is really to position Canadian clean tech and Canadian miners and foreign miners to work together to bring those green solutions to market. Our trade commissioners abroad have the knowledge of local market conditions, have access to key contacts and business opportunities to share with Canadian companies that are entering those markets. We also organize trade missions, business-to-business meetings, and connect firms to a source of global capital and introductions to foreign governments. We work closely with EDC. EDC is the provider of financial solutions for Canadian exporters, and we're a team together. Companies that work with the Trade Commissioner Service export 20% more to 20% more countries. That's the data that we have. We also have a funding program called Can Export, and so as I said, the challenge is let's diversify our exports. Let's go beyond the United States, and so companies can qualify for up to $50,000 in funding on a matching basis to go explore new countries, and that's for things like travel, participating in trade fair, feasibility studies, and many more things that need to be done to develop new markets. So if you're an SME, you want to leverage all those tools that are available to you so you can help diversify our exports. I'm accompanied today by colleagues from our regional offices in Canada and from EDC, and we have a booth out in the hallway. If you are an SME, reach out to us to look at new market opportunities. If you're mining companies, we'd like to work with you to ensure you have the best available Canadian clean technologies at your disposal to make those changes that you're looking to make. So really excited to be here. Thank you for having us, and look forward to 2 very successful days. Thanks.